I just clone the repository into my local machine. So if you guys can see, so I have Lunsu application within my project. So I'll cd into the application, and I can see that README, which is in the repository, is already here. Okay. So next thing that we're gonna do is, oops. So next thing that we're going to do is we'll be initiating the project. And since if you guys can remember, the last time we created a Trello board, and normally this is like the application tracking purposes. We can have some kind of UI or some kind of tool like this. So I have created the initial Angular and Nest.js projects. So even though we tried to create it yesterday, due to the bad weather, we could not get it done. But let's get it done today, and we'll be able to work on this task. Right. So next thing that I am going to do is, since this application is basically going to create with the application, we're going to create the hotel booking system. So we had initial discussion on that. What we're going to do right now, I'm going to initiate the source code. But as a normal project, or as a project that we will be creating, we have issues that we have created. Right now we have the initial project setup issue created for us. So what we can do is we can work on this issue. Okay. So in order to create these issues, create anything with the application, what we normally follow is branching mechanism. Okay, right now we are only having the main branch, so we need to create several other branches. Okay, so what we do is we normally don't touch the main branch until the application is really steady, or the development for our application is somewhat stable. So what we'll do is we will create a branch. Okay, we can create a branch from here, or we can create a branch from the terminal itself. So I like to create things from the terminal. That's more way of good practice for you guys as well. So since I am in the application, I will look at the status. Right now I am in the main branch, so I'll create a new branch. So I will create checkout git checkout -b for creating a new branch, and I will call this dev. Some people call development. So shorter the great, I presume, because we don't have to type it everywhere. So I have created the dev branch, and I have switched to that dev branch as I created it. So most of the time we can push it right off the dev branch, or we can just do some commits here and there, and we can get the application running from there. So right now what I'm going to do is, since I'm in the dev branch right now, I'll create the application in here, and I will push it. So what I'll do is I will cd back to the parent one, and I will create the application on top of here. So all the application related things will be within the directory that I have created. So it will make easy. Let's go how it goes. So the next thing is we need to create a NX development workspace. Okay, so this is completely framework dependent. Okay, so if you have something else, we need to make sure, if you are creating an application from Spring Boot or something like that, the setup will be different. But since we have created application using Node and everything else, this is going to be the project creation part. And one thing that we need to make sure is the application name that we need to give. So I'm going to give it the same name as the project itself. So I'll be creating the application, and would UBS workspace 17? Yes, why not? And you guys are in little bit of luck. I think recently we got Angular latest version, I think day or two before. So I will be using Angular. So I will start from the Angular, then I will integrate the Nest.js application later on. So I'm not gonna create a standalone. If I create a standalone application, what we do is it will only create an Angular application. Right now, what I need the integrated monorepo. That means the backend, the front end, both gonna be in the same repository. So that is easy for me to manage code and everything. Application name, I'll name the same name as the project. I'll use SCSS as the application, use Cypress, and I would like to use standalone components, and I would like to have routing, yes, and so not maybe no for the clouds, the what do you call the distributed caching. Right now, I do not need this. So it's creating the workspace application. Let's give it some time till it get created. And while it is creating, let me fire up another terminal so I can see the source code in here. I think you guys do not share it. Let me share it once more time. I need Chrome, I need Visual Studio Code, and I need the terminal. Okay. So the project is being created right now. Sorry, I think I'm in the wrong directory. Open folder. Let me go to JavaScript. So I'm right now. I'm in the clone project repository. Soon it should be filled out with the things. Okay. Creating working, fail to create the workspace is not an empty directory. Okay, so I'm having a little bit trouble here. So since I have the application created beforehand, like the README is there, it's gonna give me some errors. So I'll create the project within the JS project, and I'll move the files. So I'm right now I am in the Blonsu application. I'll create the workspace here, and I'll move all the files one application or one directory above. So I'm going to use the same things. Would you like to use standalone? Yes, and I would say no. Right now, within the project directory, I will have another file in here. Okay, actually a directory. So what I'll do is I'll have two directories. I'll copy and move over everything afterwards once it is done. So it is creating the workspace. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create the application as it is. Then I will just run it, see whether it is working, and I'll try to integrate the API as well and see if it is working as well. If both of those things are working, then I'm gonna do a commit, since I'm happy with the initial project setup. Okay. All right. Let's give it some time. I know since it is not JS and it is taking a little bit of time to create the application. That is understandable, given the bad connection and everything. It will take a little bit of time, so bear with us. Okay, I think almost node modules are creating. Yeah, I'm getting getting the packages as I need, seems to be. Okay. Let's give a couple of minutes. So while we are doing it, so right now, the application that we have created is only for Angular application. Okay. Unfortunately, still we are using Angular 16, but hopefully let's try to get Angular 17 if it is available. That's the main reason is there is a lot of changes going on 17. Like, I mean, not like a huge difference, but the changes it is doing is making the development experience a little bit easy. So let's hope we can get to 17, otherwise we will stick with 16 as well. Okay, hopefully, yes, the project is still creating. So we need to, we have created only Angular based application. That means NX is only creating Angular application right now. So what we need is something what we call the backend application as well. So we need to create the backend application in here as well. So since we only created an Angular application, we do not have the what we call a plugin for creating the backend application. We need to manually install it. Then we can make the connection on both. Okay, so we need to go to the plugin repository that what we within the NX docs, and probably we will have to list it down for the Nest.js application. Okay, so what we need to do is we have created the Nest.js, the workspace has been created. What we need to do is install the dependency for creating the Nest application. So this is a plugin which help us to create a Nest.js application. It will not like create the application. We have to execute the application create right now. So this is the plugin that will help us to create the application. Okay, not the application itself. So what I will do is I will create um, another terminal, and I will execute the dependency installment for Nest.js. Okay, so if you do the other way around, if you select a Nest.js application rather than selecting an Angular application, then what you need to do is you need to install the Angular plugin. Okay, so I installed Angular as a default one, and I have to install the Nest as the plugin. If I do Nest as the main application, and I have to install Angular as the plugin. Okay, so here in here the beauty of NX is if you are not happy with Angular, you can have React if you want. Okay, you can have React application, or if you want like Vue.js, you can have Vue.js as well. Okay, so those things will be predetermined for you, and it'll be helpful for you guys to get in touch on these things. Okay, multiple project types and everything. Probably it's gonna take a little bit of time than what we can expect, because npm is loading a lot of things. But meanwhile, I think uh, let's see if we got the okay, I think I installed the dev dependency in the wrong location. Might need to remove this dev dependency. Since I executed in the wrong directory, I will manually add this record. Okay, then we'll delete these things. So I will go to the directory within Blonsu, and there's a package JSON, and I will add it here. Okay, so that's a mistake I have done. So I think I do not need these two package JSON files. So all I did was I removed the dependency that I installed in the wrong place. I put it in within the application itself. Okay, I think the application is created. First thing first, since this is in a in a directory, what I'll do is I will open a file explorer, and I will copy everything from within the application into the outside. Oops. I will copy everything within the directory called Bonsu into the um, into my root working directory. Okay, so just give me a second. I will copy everything and I will paste it here. And would you like to replace, skip it? Stop it, and I think I am done. Move to bin. So what I did was, if you guys look at VS Code right now, so everything that I had under a directory called Bonsu, I move it a little bit up. So the Bonsu directory is now empty. So I'll delete it safely. So I don't need that anymore. So within the project itself, I have the node modules. Probably better since I move everything, I'll put the npm I in here. That means if for some reason, if I messed up the node modules, I will install it back. So I think probably I have done a mistake there, but I corrected it as much as possible. Okay. So right now, I think the Angular application is created. To run this application, all you have to do is there is the Blunsu app that we have created. Okay, so I need to run this application to check whether the application is created. Simple enough. I can say nx serve Blunsu. Okay, so if everything goes well, it should open up a dummy component in for port 4200. Yeah, so we got the application for the front end up and running. Okay, uh, we'll remove this probably, and or we can just have this replaced with something that is representing with our view, and we will work on that. Right now, we got the application running. Now we need to create the backend application as well. Okay, so how are we going to create the backend application? So simple enough. We have the Nest plugin, and we will be using, we install the dependency. If you guys can remember, installing by installing this command. And next thing that we need to do is we need to generate application, and I'm going to name my application not my Nest app, but I will name it I will name it as Bloomsu /API. Okay, so the front end application is called Bloomsu, and the backend application is called Bloomsu API. You can name it whatever you want. So to keep it more standard, I will use the same naming convention. So the next thing is as provided, or I can use the derived one. Probably I would use derived one. That means the project will be created under apps directory. That is what I expected. And it is creating another application right now. If you look at VS Code, so we under apps, we have Bloomsu and Bloomsu API. So these are two different applications, one for the front end and one for the back end. Okay. So it is being created, and I think, yeah, it's up and running. So I can run the front end and back end within my application. So all I have to do is I have to say nx serve Bloomsu that will start the front end. And if I take another terminal and say Bloomsu API, nx serve Bloomsu API, that will open up my backend. Okay, seems to be I am using port 300 already. So let me terminate the existing project. Give me a second. There's my other terminal. Okay. Oh. So what I did was I terminate the existing project and I will run it once again. And there you go. So it shows that localhost 3000 is running the application, no issues there. And front end and the back end both are running. So I can check if I go to localhost for 3000 API and it should work. Yeah, it says hello, the default API response that we are getting around here. So we have the front end and we have the back end, and uh, that's like pretty much basic standard application. So create initial Angular and Nest.js project. So I can assume that my task, this task is created, that this task is completed. Okay. So what I can do is I'll assume this is the initial setup, but there will be a lot of changes happening with the front end and with the back end, but we will create those things as issues so you guys can chip in, you guys can do your thing. So I will show you what is the process of getting this into a branch or something like that. Okay, so I created the uh, initial branch, and if you guys can remember, if I say git status in here, it shows all the things that I have changed so far. Okay, and I am on currently on the development branch. So what I need to do is I need to commit these changes. I need to have these things in the dev branch. Okay, since this is initial commit, I can go ahead and put it everything in dev. But afterwards, if I'm doing some other task, I would definitely create an issue and so go and so forth. Okay, right now, since this is the initial one, okay, this is like a really exceptional case since we are starting this. I will just add these things and I will push it to dev. Okay, so I will say git status. Sorry, I can say git add dot. In this case, dot means we are adding everything. So if you want to check what are the files that we are adding, so make sure you do not add um, any unwanted files. Make sure you guys look at the gitignore file, this one. So the gitignore files gives a list of files that we are not supposed to commit, like the dist application, some settings, especially not modules. So we do not need to we do not need to what do you say, commit these things in our application. So make sure we do not add those things within the message. So you can even double check within VS Code what are the files that we're going to be committing on. Okay, so probably you guys can see we are having a lot of files within the initial commit. That's because it's like the huge application creation, but upcoming request is going to be like really small ones. So you can do the commit in here. I would definitely recommend to starters something like that. Start everything from terminal or something like that. So you have the um, wider angle of everything. Okay. So next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say git.add. That means I'm adding everything in here, and I will say git commit, and I need to pass a message. So I'm gonna say this as a initial commit. So this is the initial commit that I have done, and you guys can see everything that I'm gonna be doing. It's here, and I can say git push, but this is gonna fail because even though I created the dev branch locally, I haven't created it in the repository, the remote branch. So I need to say upstream, create the upstream. That means this will be created within the Bitbucket also. Okay, so I'll be creating that, and I'm pushing these objects, and hopefully, yes. So the new branch is created, which is called dev, and it is going to be in here. Let's see in the branching section of our application. You guys can see the dev branch is here. And if I go to source, right now I am in the main branch. I won't see nothing, but if I change to the dev branch, I would see the application right around here. Okay. So the initial commit is done. So my first application that I have created is something should be in doing, and I can say it is done. Simply, I do not need this templated one. Can I delete, hide from list, and archive? Okay, so this one is completed as done. I'll remove these unwanted ones as well. Okay, so the first one, first application that we have created, the first issue that we have created is moved to done. Okay, so this is like the extreme rare cases that I mean, not going to be extremely rare if you are creating the one, but moving forward, probably the way of creating this application is going to be a little bit in difference. So what I ask you guys is to do the following, and right now we are in the initial stage, and we have just pushed to our dev branch. Now the things will be a little bit different afterwards. So especially um, when we want to commit a change, or when we want to do changes to our application. Okay, so in reality, most of the time, since this application is a web one, we can take the application development in two tracks. Okay, the front end and the back end. But sometimes we can develop the application as a full stack developer. So front end task and the back end task will be uh, completed by one single person. Okay, so that's kind of things also happens. Anyhow, what we need to do is the initial phase of the application, getting everything um, into uh, into existence. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we will try to create as much as tickets, so you guys can contribute. I'll show you how we can create a real life ticket, and assign it to myself and work with that, and I'll do the I'll do the reviews and everything, and so on and so forth. Okay, so probably these parts will be done for you guys at the initial of the project. But since you guys were able to witness it, I think that would be a opportunity that you guys, if you are creating your own, try to keep these things in mind as well. Okay. All right. The next thing is we need to look at our requirement. Requirement is like, first of all, we need a landing page. Okay, so we need a landing page to be created. So what I'll do is I will add another card. I will say create a landing page. Okay, so right now I'm adding this card, and I can put a member, probably me. I'm gonna do this, and I'll show you guys how we can do that. Probably we will need to assign a date, or we need to add labels for sure, for safekeeping, and create a landing page. That's going to be the description. But remember, in in a real world situation. You will get more than just create landing page. It will describe everything that we need to do, especially with the text, colors, and everything. If there is a screenshot, those things gonna be attached in here as well. um, so for reference, I would just create something, and let me get the design in place. So for reference, I can say, okay, when we are working with the application, um, create just the landing page, and we will be adding those features moving forward. Okay, so we as the project grows, it will be easy for us to have smaller sections in order to grow the application. Right now we can see the landing page is having a lot of places, lot of designing things to be done. So we'll start something small, like the landing page, and I will, for reference, like if you are doing a real world project, I'll put like a small screenshot, so that would make more interesting. Okay, so I'll go to the project. I'm here, and I think I can just add the picture in here. And yeah, it's uploading. So I took a screenshot and I'm just copy pasting it in here. So it will take a little bit of time to attach to the ticket itself. Okay, while that's going on, what I'll do is, the next thing that I'm going to do is, I need to branch out from the ticket that I got. Okay, so right now, in here we do not have like a issue numbering system or something like that. We have the 1 2 3 numbering system that we get. Okay, so we can either use the numbering system provided by the application, or we can have a naming convention of our own. Okay, um, most of the time, when we create some application like this, we get ID for this. Okay, so you guys can see in here it's a to create landing page. If I have another issue, so we gonna have another issue as well, as long as it is uniquely identifiable. The branching name should be also be the same. Okay, so I have the naming conventions in here, so I can create another one. Let's say I will create another card, and I will say create login page. Okay, right now we do not have a design for that, but we can come up something really easily. So if I click on this, you guys can see it is 3 create login page. Okay, so we can use this naming convention to make ourselves clear that okay, in the Git itself we are referring to the same issue the same way we are using in our Trello board. Okay, so what I'll do is, since I need I need to create this landing page, I will use this name to create landing page as my branch name. Okay, so branching out, when we are creating a branch, there are several things that we need to remember. So there are a couple of branch types normally that we put in within a project. Okay, that can be different based on the project structure or something like that. But normally we create branches based on their scope of work. Okay, so right now I am creating a new feature. Okay, so I am prefixing my branches with feature. I'll show you in a little bit. If I'm trying to fix a bug, I will prefix it as a bug fix. Okay, and there are some cases we need to immediately fix something, so we call those things as hot fixes. So if I need to push something really fast, I will create a hot fix branch and push it. Since I am creating a new feature, I will create so I need to branch out from where I am. So I am currently in the dev branch, yes, and I will be creating a new branch to push my changes. Okay, so how do I branch out from the development branch? So I need to be in the branch that I need to be branched out. That means I should be in development branch, and I will branch out by simply saying git check out minus b. And as I mentioned earlier, we need to name our branches in a way so we can identify what's going on. So since this is going to be a feature, I will did I spell it correctly? Feature. Okay, there should be a feature. So since this is going to be a feature branch, since I am going to be working with the feature, I am going to name prefix my branch with feature and the issue name. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, the issue is issue uniquely identifiable as this URL. Okay, so I'm going to create that. So if you are using something like Jira or something like that, we use the Jira ID of the issue ID or something like that. As long as it is understandable by everybody, it's okay. Okay, so we have a git checkout. We are checking out from the dev branch to a new branch called this one. Okay, so whatever I am doing right now is I'm gonna do within this branch. Okay, I have branched out, and I will create everything that I need to do within this branch. So my feature that I need to develop is to develop the landing page. Okay, so I'm not gonna go into the explanation of every code and here and there. So I'm gonna fast track for you guys. So this is going to be a front end related one. So I'm going to be in the Blonsu application SRC, and I'm going to fast track, and I'll not need the welcome component. I'm going to delete that. Yes, I need to be deleting, and within the component itself, I will be not needing the app component. Yes, I would not need that. Within the welcome application, I don't need that, but I need the router outlet. Okay, that is okay. So right now, the application should be a blank one. Yes, it is blank right now. And I need to create a landing page. Okay, that is my expectation. So my directory structure, I will create something called pages. Okay, within the pages, I'll create a new um, new what do you call a uh, new page for our landing. So I will have something called landing, or we can name whatever you like site or website, whatever you like, as long as you can understand it. And I need to create a component. Get started. I think the next console is not working. Let me restart the export. Window. Okay. Right. So if you do not have NX plugin, install it from the plugin section. So it will be easy to create components and everything. So I'm going to create a simple component, and it's going to be an Angular component, and I'm going to name it as a home page, because since this is a landing home, or I can name it as hotel if I want. It's up to the project. See all options. I'm gonna select a CSS, and gonna create a standalone component. It's gonna create within Blonsu SRC app pages, landing, home, and home component. Yeah, that's what I need. I'll hit generate, and it's gonna create a home component for me. Okay, that's perfect. And what I need to do is then I need to I need to show the route to this application. So I'm gonna go app routing, and I'm gonna say if there is no path provided, this is not gonna be the load component. I'm gonna load the home component. Okay, so this might change. Load component. So it's a method. Load component. So it should be component, and it's going to be home. So what I did was just I did not apply any lazy loading techniques or anything like that. No improvements, just plain old. I have imported the home component under the landing page. Okay, probably we will come up with uh, routings and everything in a later branch. Right now, I just need to create the home component. Okay, so it shows homeworks. That means application is created, the landing page is created. So I will make a little bit of changes in here as well. So if you are using something like a good application in a web application, I would definitely store these values in a CSS. So right now I'm gonna create something more realistic rather than showing homeworks. Okay, so bear with me. Um, First thing that I need to do is I'll remove some styling, body and HTML. There's the margin. I don't need that margin, the default one that we get. So right now I will create I will copy this color. Okay, and I can since I'm going to be using this all around the application, I will have this one as what we call a variable, so I can refer it in the application anywhere. So I'll call this purple bg. Okay, purple background, so background color would be this color. Okay, so I can use this purple bg within my application anywhere I like. So I'm gonna come to home, and I'm gonna create a div, and I will call this one as hero. Normally we call this one as hero, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a hero component. It's gonna be width of 100% and height of 100 view height, so it will cover the whole thing. And since I have given the purple bg, I will use the purple bg in my application in here. Okay, so it should cover up the whole thing. Yes, you guys can see in here. Since it is seems empty, I will download the sorry, I will put the what do you call the font in here as well. Let me check what is the font that we have been using in here. Um, it's called font Open Sans. Okay, so we are going to be using Open Sans. I will say Google font Open Sans. And since I am going to be using Open Sans, I will open this. It's going to be pretty easy. Okay. I will select this one. What I need to do is I need to just copy paste this one within my index HTML. So I have Google Fonts within my application, and I'm going to have this font family to the HTML. So everywhere in my application will be using that. So if I look at the design once again, I will just simply find your perfect vacation. I will just copy that text and put it in h1 tag. Let's see if it is showing. Yep, it is showing since since h1s have margin. I will remove that h1 margin 0, and I will make it color would be like white. Okay, right. So this is like the starting and very starting point. So I'm gonna leave up to you guys to add in the new features, add new things, but I just want to give you guys a heads up and how we're gonna create the application. Okay, so basically it's nothing related to the application right now what we are seeing. So we'll be looking trying to get this view into this application. Okay, sorry. Right now we have created something really basic and not even matching, but I assume this is the uh, correct implementation. And what I'm gonna do next is how I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna be putting this into a code review or something like that, and get it accepted within my branch. Okay, so any questions up until this, guys? Anything you guys did not get? Any issues so far? So I'm just fast forwarding these things because we already covered creating the applications and everything. But meantime, if you have any doubts, you guys can ask me. Okay. If you have anything, just ask me anytime. Okay. No worries. So I'm
Yes.
gonna. Yeah.
No, it's not a doubt, so but here's a power. There's a power cut here.
Okay. So you guys
The,
have been.
yeah.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll then wrap up within 10 minutes. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I hope you guys can survive for 10 minutes. Give me like 10 minutes. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I have done these changes, right? I have done everything, and I will give a proper commit message. Since I am within VS Code, I can see the branch that I am in currently, but I can use always the terminal, which I prefer. So I'm gonna say git add. Okay, these are the files I'm gonna add, and git commit. What is the commit that I'm gonna do? I'm gonna commit these files, and I will say landing page router added. Okay, so meaningful commit messages is always encouraged. Okay, and since I am done with my changes, I'm gonna push my branch. Okay, I can always say git push from command, or I can simply git push here. So let me go back into the application, and to branches section. Now I can see another feature branch created, and what are the changes that I need to do. So right now, these are all the changes that I have done so far within this branch. Sorry, within this branch. So feature 2 to development, that is where I'm going to doing my changes. So these are all the changes that I have done. Okay, this is the comparison between feature 2 branch and the dev branch. And if I am happy with these changes, okay, if I do not have anything to worry about, I can create a pull request. So pull request is a process of like accepting my code into the live version. So I'm gonna create a pull request on it, and you guys can see I am creating a pull request from the feature 2 branch into the development branch. And if I am okay with these things, I will create the pull request. I can tick in here whether I want to delete after the PR is done, and make sure to add reviewers. Okay, the people who's gonna doing the review, since I am the uh, um, I am working with this application my own. I do not need to put on anyone else. But if I like, I can have you guys to do the review. So I'll create the pull request. Okay. I am creating the pull request, and if the reviewers are happy with my code, if I do not have any objections, what I can do is I can approve this. Okay. Right now I am approving this one, and if all the other approvals are also there, sometimes there will be approval from one or two members. Right now I have approved my PR, but it is not the process normally. It is like other people who's doing other people reviews, and once it is done, I will merge it. Okay, so I'm gonna merge it. So right now, the PR is reviewed, PR is corrected, and everything from the feature 2 branch is merged to the dev branch. Now development branch is updated, and everything will be in here. Okay. Okay. Since you guys are having the power cut, what we'll do is we will continue this one next week. Um, Probably we just covered something, and I will create more tasks in the application. Try to clone this repository and get everything in place, and try to contribute your codes. Do a PR. Just practice on this. Okay. Okay. Right now I'm gonna stop. If you have any questions with regarding this, just let me know. Okay. Right. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, if the power comes back, let me know. Okay. Thank you, guys.